If you know what I know, you can easily get to Immortal in one act. There are 3 principles that tenz and other pros use that made them reach Radiant. I will also be sharing their secret aim training that you can add for your warm-up games. And before we head into the video, I am Valo Blue, aka Cash When He Cuz, back at it again. And I am a former Immortal player, and let's get into it.
Nice. Last guy sides, hell, heaven, main, yun.
Your rank does not matter. Whatever rank you are in right now, I just want to let you know that any silver can easily one-tap tenz. Which brings us into our first principle. Stop caring about rank games. Have you ever noticed that the one guy that never tries and always have fun is just better? Even if they lose, they wouldn't get tilted. They would just laugh and move on to the next game. This is because they do not care about their rank. Once you fully understand that rank doesn't matter and you learn to stop caring, you will aim and play better since there is no pressure on you. So all you gotta do is just to stop caring and just have fun with the game. The best way to not care about the game is think about it like this. You are not a professional Valorant player. This will not be your career. Your rank will not matter. In the next 5 years, you probably won't even remember about playing your game in Valorant. Valorant is not your life. Take a step back and just remember that you have a family, you have a house, you have everything else. Just forget about Valorant and just think of it as a second option. Okay, moving on. We're now going to go to our second principle, which is settings. You know, having raw acceleration by its own just feels like aimbot. And also, comment down below the video if you guys want to see the pro settings with their raw acceleration. And another thing you should know about settings is that you guys should make sure that the multi-render head setting is turned off. This will give you a tiny boost in FPS and will make your game feel smoother. Okay, now moving on, we'll be going to Crosshair. The best type of crosshair you can use in-game personally is the big crosshairs. If you'd notice, Shroud, Shazam, and other pro CSGO players, they always use big crosshairs. And that is because Shroud says it is more easier to put the target to your crosshair if your crosshair is big. I will put some crosshair codes down below in the description for you guys to use. But wait! Before we go into the last principle, where I reveal the aim training of the pros, I want to give a huge shout out to these kind people. And here's my most handsome homie, Mar1B. And I will be giving the other shout outs later at the end of the video. Okay, now we are at the last principle of the video. I will now finally show you the aim training of the pros. And before we get into that, I will show you the little secret the pros do that makes their aim better. Wrist warm-ups. Sinatra's warm-up routine is actually good, since it helps you to get used to your sensitivity by warming up your wrists. If you want to have good aim, you should learn and be familiarized with your sensitivity. And now moving on to the warm-up. Let's go with tenz's warm-up. Tenz does about 1 hard range bots with a sheriff, then another hard range bots with a marshal, and then he finishes off with team deathmatch until he goes rank. And now Sinatra's. Sinatra does the flying twirly twirl thing with Jet, and then he does 3 hard range bots with any gun, and then he practices his movement until he goes rank. And now moving on to my favorite player, Kang. I'm just gonna put the list down just so you guys can do it. And now we are done with the warm-up, and before you get into your ranked game, you need to watch my other videos where I explain the other mechanics so you can get that perfect aim.